This is Hive You Heard from the Norbertine community of New Mexico, Beekeeping at the Abbey with Louise Nielsen Oprem, Oblate.
Welcome back to our Hive You Heard series here at Santa Maria de la Vida Abbey. It's been a little while since we posted on this, so we thought we would catch up with a interview today. I'm Joseph Sandoval. I'm the Director of Communications here at the Santa Maria de la Vida Abbey, as well as an oblate here. And with me here today is a fellow oblate and also the Abbey's conscience on assuring that we treat all of God's creatures as they deserve to be treated. And included in that are the bees. So she's our resident beekeeper. Welcome, Louise.
Thank you. Thanks, Joseph.
And like I said, it's been a little while since we posted on this, so we kind of need to go back and see what's been happening with our beehive we have here. I understand there was a bit of a surprise when you came back after winter to look at the bees.
Yes. Well, just so you know, we started with one hive. One hive. I thought I would be able to manage one hive as a new beekeeper. And so last year, we were able to split that one hive into 2 hives, and now we have 5 hives. So that's really good news that our hives are healthy and growing, that we're able to split them and requeen them, and they're doing really well. They really like it here. I think they just really like the alfalfa fields that grow around here, and some of the flowering plants too as well. So it's pretty exciting. Pretty soon, if we keep split, I'm going to have to get some definite help to manage it, because it's a lot of work. It really is. It's fun, but it is time consuming. So
Explain to us what it means for it to be a different hive. Does that just mean they're in a different area, or exactly what does it mean to have a different hive?
A hive is a group of bees that live together under one queen. The queen is the boss of the hive, and only one queen is allowed in the hive. If somehow a second queen figures out how to get into a hive, she will be killed. One queen, one hive. So what happens in the springtime sometimes is over the winter, if they winter well, the population of bees really can grow over the winter time, and they know that they're getting too big for the size of the hive, the boxes that are making up the hive. So they know they need to make another queen, and they will get a group of them together, and they will swarm out. And that's one of the biggest things you have to worry about in the springtime, is that you're going to get a swarm. Some of the bees will stay behind with the original queen, and some will move out of the hive with the new queen, because they can't have 2 queens in a hive. So you want to, what we call, split the hive before, when you get the cues that it looks like there's going to be a swarm. We want to split the hive before that happens.
And where did the new queens come from? I remember, if I recall correctly, you actually ordered one in the mail, the first one, right?
Right. Sometimes you need one in a hurry, and you can order them, and you can order them in the mail. It costs about $45 or $50 for a queen. But the bees themselves know when their queen is injured or getting old. Queens can live 2 or 3 years. They know they have to start working on getting and making a new queen. So all bees in the egg form are the same, but when they need a queen, the worker bees will treat a particular egg. I think they choose it at random, and they will put royal jelly and give it special hugs and kisses, so that it matures into a queen. It's able to do that. So it's just a regular bee that's been treated differently with the royal jelly. And it's very interesting how they know to do that. Sometimes you can tell that they're going to swarm in the spring because on the bottom of one of the frames will be a queen cell, and you're like, uh-oh, they're making a cell. They're making a new queen. They're going to take off, and that's why you have to be really vigilant in the springtime and pay attention, because that can happen really fast. I had a hive. The hive that is here. The first hive was my original hive that I had in my backyard. And one time I was somewhere at Walmart or something, and my husband called me and said, something's happening in the backyard. It's like a swarm of bees, which literally it was. And it's really intense when they swarm like that. And I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I was a really new beekeeper. So I got some help. We captured that hive, and that's how we got the second hive here at the Abbey. We moved my original hive and the swarm hive over here to this property, just because they do have a lot of acreage here and a lot of good reasons to have hives here. So.
Well, I don't know that much about bees, but it seems like it must be a very healthy colony if they're developing queens.
Yes, yeah. I've been really lucky with the hives. I think it's because I feed them really well before I close them up for the winter. I mean, I give them lots of food. I mean, they could survive a really long time. Because I do take the honey out. They have some left for themselves, but I want to make sure that they can live through the winter. And that's really important, to feed them in the wintertime. And if you don't, you can lose the hive over the wintertime.
Does that mean us here at the community are going to be getting some honey?
I hope so. I hope so. I just wanted to mention, Joseph, something else that we're getting from the hives already, and that's pollen. There are pollen traps that you can put in the springtime, early summer, I guess I should say, when the bees come in. It's just a little trap where they drop off some of the pollen, not all, because they do need the pollen to feed their young babies. But they bring in so much, and we can gather some of the pollen, which is a really good supplement to our diet, especially for people who are undergoing some kind of stressful cancer treatments or something, and they need that little bit of extra protein and good health. You have to start though by taking just a little bit, because it's pretty strong. So a lot of people don't know that they're getting pollen on there too.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was any health benefits. You usually hear about pollen having to do with allergies.
Right. There are a couple of other things that we get from the hive that are besides honey, and that is royal jelly. And royal jelly is used, a lot of people use that in cosmetics and things. We get the pollen, we get the honey, and we get something called propolis. And propolis is the sticky stuff that the bees use to seal their hives so no other insects can get in on the edges of the wood where the wood pieces come together. And that is an antibiotic. And in many years past, people actually would put that on a toothache or an infection or something, and it's very strong and very helpful for that too. And we get propolis every time I have to scrape it to open the hive up, because it's so sticky. So yeah, so we get a lot of really good stuff here. Plus they're just so cute.
And then we also brought in some honey?
Yeah, that's some honey. This honey has just been evaporated. Like a lot of the water that's in it evaporated out. I like it thick like that, so I sit it out and let it evaporate so that it's just thicker to put on toast or something like this. Not so runny. Good, yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else you want to tell us about what's going on out there with our bees?
No, we're hopefully we get a chance to talk one more time, and then I can tell you a little bit about how we are managing the hive to actually extract the honey and how that works. Because we want to take out honey, but we don't want to take out baby bees and all of the other little critter things that are in there. We want just honey, and so how do we strain that out? That's kind of interesting too. So anyway, thank you. Come visit the Abbey, come visit the hives. They're pretty friendly. Don't get too close though.
Well, thank you, Louise, not only for being here, but for what you're doing for those hundreds or thousands of little lives out there,
Yes.
and the products you're providing for us here at the Abbey. We will hopefully not be too long this time before we bring you another update on our hives. Until then, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for more content and visit our website at norbertincommunity.org.